Good day. Today we'll be looking at a basic formula for getting a value based on multiple criteria using the index and match function. Columns A to D contains the product details, product ID, country code, quantity, price, which is the data required for the given task. The task was to get the price of some products based on the product ID and country codes provided. Columns H to J contains the data for the task and solution, while columns N and O has the solution breakdown. Looking at the solution breakdown, first thing was to get the row number that corresponds with the given product ID and country code. In the match function, we have 1 as the lookup value, and the index function was used to get the lookup array. The cells with the light pink background represent what goes on in the index function that generates the lookup array. Remember that cells O2 and O3 contains 111 and NGN respectively. Hence, the use of the tiled symbol as same as for the purpose of this task. The array of zeros and ones in P8 to X8 represents the contents of N8. The arrays of zeros and ones in P9 to X9 represents the content of N9, while the arrays of zeros and ones in P10 to X10 represents the content of N10, that is the multiplication of both criteria arrays. Having explained that, the index function transposes the criteria range, takes each criteria and equates them to its criteria range, then generates an array of true or false using 1 and 0, whereby 1 appears if the value is present in that row and 0 if the value is not present. For product ID 111, if you look at the criteria range column, which is column A, you can see that it appears in row 3, row 6, and so on. If you look at the index results, we also have 1 in column 3 and column 6, and so on. For the country code NGN, if you look at the criteria range, which is column B, you can see that it appears in row 3, row 7, and so on. If you look at the index results, we also have 1 in column 3 and 7. It then multiplies the result of the arrays. The results are as follows. For anywhere you have 0 times 0, you get 0. 1 times 1, you get 1. 0 times 1, you get 0. And 1 times 0 is 0. This leaves us with row 3 as the row that meets both criteria. Same applies if it's more than 2 criteria, because if you have one, if it's like a 3 or 4 criteria and you have all criteria range arrays or arrays of zeros and one having 1 1 1 1, if you multiply them they will give you 1. But as long as any one of them has a 0, just like this, you have 1 here, you have 0, it gives you 0, because 0 times 1. So if it's a criteria of 4 and you have 1 1 1, as long as there's 0, it still gives you 0. So I guess you understand this pattern now. Since we have 3 as our row number and in the index action we have 3 2 as our row number, let's look at the product detail. You see that row 3 has 111 NGN, making our price 90. We have 90 here. Let me change the country code to CA. We have 6 here, and in the index action part we also have 6. Let's look at the product details. We have 111 CA giving us 24 as the price. Observe that as this CA was changed, the array positioning change. You have zeros. Let's just go through one of them. Look at 111. In row 1 there's no 111, so you have 0. In row 2 there's no 111, so you have 0. In row 3 you have 1, and if you look here too you have 1. You have 111, sorry. Then row 4, 5, 0, 0, here to 0, 0. Row 6, 111, 6, 111. Then 7 is 0, 7 is 0, is not 111, sorry. Then 8 is 1, row 8 has 111. 9 is 0, 9 is not 111, and so on. So let's look at that of CA. CA has 0, 0 until 5 and 6, then 0, 0 to 9. So see, so we have CA in the country code. You have number 5 is CA, number 6 is CA. Let me change the product code from 111 to 222. Sorry, the product ID. You can see we have row number 5, and here also we have 5. After the multiplication we have just 1. It's this 1 here that determines what the row number that meets the criteria. And if you come to the product details, you also see that number 5 has 222 and CA. By the way, please ignore the formula used for the breakdown of this particular index action. I may do a session to explain it. Now that we are clear on how the array is generated, let's go back to the index formula. You put 0 as the row number and 1 as the column number. That's all for the lookup array. I guess we now understand that our lookup value for the match function is 1 because the generated lookup array is an array of zeros and 1. Let me click on this function so you see it better. You can see our lookup array has zeros and ones, and you have only 1 here. So as you can see, it's even in the 5th position, just as it is with the explanation done down. Look here and look here, see it's the same thing. Well, that's that. Then we have the match type as 0, which represents exact match. Okay. Finally, the index function is used again to get the price. Column D, which contains the price, is the array, and the row number gotten, which is in 04, is used. In column J, the formula is put together in J3 to get the solution. This is the index formula, this is the array, which is column D, that has the price. Then this is the match formula that was used to get the row number. Here we don't need the column number, it's not necessary. You already have the range, which is just 1 column, so there's no need to put a column number. We just insert the result gotten from our match formula, that's the raw number, then the array, after which an autofill was done to populate the rest. You already know that this is the product ID and country code that was given, and this is the formula autofill. You can as well change any of them and the value will change automatically. So let's try that. Let's put what should we do? Okay, let's do 111 UK. We have 55 here, and 111 UK is 63. So we put 111 UK. It automatically changed. Apologies for sniffing in between. I caught a cold. That's all about the solution. Please remember that there are many ways to solve a problem, and Google is always your friend. Do have a beautiful day.